The world's largest iceberg just died, and they don't want you to see what was inside. Viewers who watched the collapse footage noticed something disturbing: dark shapes moving through hollow chambers that shouldn't exist. Scientists are staying silent. The footage is being buried. But tonight, we're uncovering the truth about what really happened when a 2-3A met its end. Most of us imagine icebergs as silent, frozen giants drifting quietly at the edge of the world. But what happens when the largest iceberg on Earth begins to die, and the entire process is caught on camera? The moment it broke free left even scientists deeply unsettled. And the consequences for the rest of us are far more terrifying than they first appear. This is the story of a 2-3A, a floating ice giant that, by all rights, should not exist anymore. In the early 1980s, a colossal fragment of ice broke away from the Filtner ice shelf in Antarctica. But this wasn't just any iceberg. It was something on a scale the world had rarely seen. Scientists named it a 2-3A, and it measured nearly 4,000 square kilometers, making it larger than some entire countries. Picture a frozen block of ice so vast that entire cities could fit on top of it with room to spare. The 2-3A barely moved. It sat grounded to the seafloor, a frozen fortress marooned in the middle of nowhere. Its stillness was deceptive. Just because it looked silent didn't mean it was safe. Over time, things began to change. Warmer ocean currents crept beneath the iceberg. The ice shelf around it grew weaker. Almost imperceptibly, this sleeping giant began to stir out at first. Only satellites detected the changes. A small shift here, a new fracture there. But soon, the movement became undeniable. A 2-3A was breaking free, and the footage captured during this period is both mesmerizing and deeply disturbing. The cameras revealed massive cracks, opening like scars across the iceberg's surface. With thunderous roars that echoed across the open ocean, huge chunks of ice tore away and crashed into the sea. The sound wasn't like ordinary ice breaking. Witnesses described it as more like an earthquake, as if the planet itself was groaning under the immense pressure as the ice collapsed. Something even more unsettling was revealed. The footage showed hollow chambers hidden deep within the iceberg, spaces darker than the ocean itself. Long tunnels, carved by trapped air and melting water, snaked through the ice, giving the impression that something alive was lurking within. Some viewers claimed they saw shadows moving in these hollow chambers, maybe just tricks of the light, or maybe the human mind trying to give shape to the unknown. Still, the images left many people deeply unsettled. This wasn't just ice collapsing. It felt as if the iceberg was exposing a secret it had kept for thousands of years. For glaciologists, the collapse of a 2-3A isn't just dramatic footage. It's a warning sign. Icebergs like this aren't supposed to last forever, but the speed at which a 2-3A is breaking apart is alarming. When an iceberg of this size melts, it doesn't immediately raise sea levels because it's already floating. But here's the real danger. Icebergs act as barriers, holding back the massive land glaciers behind them. Once these barriers drift away or weaken, enormous sheets of land ice can start sliding faster into the ocean. And that does raise sea levels. It's like pulling the plug from a drain. Once the barrier is gone, the flow becomes unstoppable. What's happening with the 23A isn't an isolated event. Around the world's poles, other ice giants are cracking, melting, and vanishing at an accelerating pace. The footage of this iceberg collapsing might look like just another natural phenomenon, but in reality, it's a preview of what's coming. Rising seas don't just reshape coastlines, they threaten millions of lives. Cities like New York, London, Sydney, and Shanghai all stand in the path of the water dot. Yet, even with all this evidence, many people still look at the footage and see only just ice. But if you look closer, it's so much more than that. It's the Earth's way of sending us a message, one that grows louder every year. Some people watch this footage and see beauty, a reminder of nature's raw, unstoppable power. Others see something haunting, proof that we're standing on the edge of a future we might not be ready for. The truth is probably somewhere in between. The collapse of a 23A is both a natural cycle and an unnatural warning. Icebergs have broken away for thousands of years, but never before have they vanished so quickly. Under oceans this warm, in a world this vulnerable. So the next time you see footage of ice falling into the sea, don't just think of it as another viral clip. Think about the centuries it took to form. Think about the silence it held for millennia. And think about what it means that even the largest, strongest iceberg in the world could not survive what's happening now. This isn't just ice breaking apart. This is history dissolving before our eyes. And maybe, just maybe, it's a warning we can't afford to ignore. Now I want to know, when you see this footage, do you view it as a natural wonder or as a disturbing sign of what's to come? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep, chilling stories like this, make sure to subscribe, because there's a lot more hidden beneath the surface than most of us realize.